Welcome to you, my friends. I'm D. Grant Smith, the growth farmer for personal development through the lens of spirituality and storytelling. And I've got another short story to share with you today that's similar to the previous video that I did about being our unique selves. This is actually more of a story that we can imagine an image of, or like it's a scene from a TV show or a movie. But this is something that I've experienced several times, and I try to practice doing this as often as I can. It's amazing what can happen when we allow ourselves to engage with people in an energetic way. Sometimes that involves saying something, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it can just be looking somebody in the eye, smiling. Because in doing so, we are acknowledging that we see them. We're acknowledging that they are here, and we're acknowledging that they matter. And something as simple as looking somebody in the eye and smiling can change somebody's day. Because ultimately, what we really want to experience, all of us, doesn't matter who we are, we want to experience love. Love is the ultimate goal for all of us. And as we plant more love inside our heart gardens and inside our mind gardens, with the way that we feel and the way that we think, that becomes the fruit that we produce in our life. And this is what I talk about and teach through my platform at growthfarming.com. I invite you to join me there for a collection of amazing, inspirational stories, as well as some vibrant and powerful teachings and a beautiful, wonderful community that happens through the membership that's available there. But what I want to do for you today is read the story and then talk a little bit about how we can apply what's inside this story to our everyday lives to not only bring more happiness, more peace, more joy, more love into our own experience, but also radiate and share that with those, even strangers, that we experience in our everyday lives. So here's the story. It's called I Like Your Shirt. She wore a blue shirt with red, white, and yellow polka dots streaming up and down. Her jeans were rolled up at the knees, and her black Doc Marten boots seemed shiny and glistening in the room full of people. Yet she just sat calmly, observing everything and everyone. She liked watching people. It was the perfect blend of entertainment and whimsy, education and enlightenment, mystery and marvel. Better than sitting in front of a TV or endlessly scrolling through social media. She could feel the energy all around her. Most of it was happy and excited. People shopping for the holidays tended to bring that joyful energy all around. That was her favorite part. Yet there was the occasional moper, the sad-looking loner with his head pointed down at the ground, seeming to just scuffle or shuffle from place to place, his feet sliding and scuffing the floor with each step. She saw one boy like this and wondered what was on his mind. Why did he not seem to have the enthusiasm that was so vibrant in this mall on this sunny afternoon? Not one to pry or try and change people directly, she hoped he would just look up as he got closer to her, one scuffled step at a time. He did. She brightened her eyes and smiled at him. His melancholy face did an immediate 180. His eyes lightened, and he smiled back. I like your shirt, he said as he walked by. Thank you. I like your hair, she replied. He paused for a moment. He'd actually spent time on his hair today, and someone had noticed. That meant something. He kept on walking, but his head didn't go back down. It remained high for the rest of the day. Now, have you experienced something like that? Whether you were the giver of this acknowledgement or the recipient of it from someone else, I've experienced both. And I try to make a point when I go to particularly coffee shops where there's all kinds of different people that are hanging out to just notice something different. Maybe notice the shoes that somebody's wearing or a jacket or something on their computer or whatever, and just make a encouraging comment to say, hey, I like that, or hey, that's a cool shirt, or whatever it is. Because just doing this simple act of encouragement is speaking the language of love into somebody else. Now, that might turn into a conversation, and you might make a new friend, or it might not end up being anything other than you making a positive remark to someone else. But what you're doing is you are communicating value, you're communicating love, and you're communicating recognition and acceptance, and essentially validation to somebody else. They didn't ask you for it, you're giving it freely. And in doing so, you're communicating a message of love that you are a person who sees and who values others, and you're not going to be silent about it. And watch when you do this, how the energy in the room all around you changes. You might notice that other people begin making comments about something that you're wearing, or that other people start noticing things that they like about other people, and then people start talking and people start being encouraging and uplifting to each other. It's a great way to change the energy, change the dynamic, and bring more light and love with you wherever you go. So that's my encouragement for you today. Leave a comment below saying, yes, D. Grant, I'm going to share some light today. And I might just use your suggestion about making a comment to somebody about something they're wearing and seeing what happens. I appreciate you. I love you, and I'll see you again soon.